Hey, what's up everyone? Put together this video today. I'm going over something that's crucially important for local businesses today, especially is just the ability to have a multi-marketing or multi-channel presence. And so it's as of the past few years, I would say this has become even more and more important for local businesses as people are, potential prospects and customers are less likely to be, there's a ton of marketing, I would say, not less likely, but there's a ton of marketing that occurs on a day-to-day basis, and is also just given the nature of social media and what's going on as far as people being entirely consumed by information on a day-to-day basis. They're just slammed with various pieces of information, and the attention span of the average adult has actually gotten shorter. So it makes sense because of these things that are going on with social media and the emergence of social media, I would say, things like Facebook, Instagram, and those various platforms and other means of how media is communicated to the consumer and folks, and so folks in the general population, I would say. So what I've done is I laid out my top 5 marketing channels for local businesses. And so this is something that we deploy currently in our agency to help local businesses, whether they're medical practice or if they're a dental practice, HVAC, plumber, roofer, whatever they may be, home service or medical service industries. This is crucially important, and basically we've seen some great success with a couple of our clients that we're currently working with right now for quite a bit at this point. And so we've seen that this strategy actually can really you can 5 to 10x your ROI. It really is totally up to you as a local business owner and your commitment to really wanting this to succeed. But basically these tools and these tactics, or this strategy that I'm about to lay out, I'm going to lay it down in 5 parts. And so today we're going to lay out the first one, and so the subsequent video will go over number 2, and then the third video 3, 4, and 5, and so on. And so I'll lay down each one each day to you and provide a ton of value and information that you would be looking for, that is extremely helpful. And so again, this winning strategy, you can easily, now I wouldn't say easily, but you can 5x to 10x your ROI over time, if not greater. I mean, the SEO component, I've seen things from businesses who really have their SEO dialed in, getting 15x, 20x the ROI because of all the work they've put in their SEO over time. And so SEO typically by nature, it takes a long, it's longer, right, to really see an ROI on that. But as I lay it out here, basically our agency has developed a system, and on a side note, I would say we've developed a system that basically harnesses all of this into one, but I'm piecing it out basically one by one to go over with you. So without further ado, we'll jump into, again, this is not in any order. I'm sorry if I didn't lay this out. Number 1 is not the number 1. It's just top 5, right? All of these are equally as important, I would say. And so let me see here. So number 1 is website, right? And so you need a properly built site, and you need to properly optimize that site for SEOs to be visible online, right? So not only for your regular search terms, right? So if you're a roofer, like roofing in the city, that you're, a search term or a particular search term that might be of high value to you would be like roofing, Los Angeles, California, roofing, Norfolk, Connecticut. Those are the common keywords, and those are the more of the short keywords that get a lot of volume. But typically what you want to do is, I've seen, and what we deploy currently with our agency is, we, depending on the niche, we typically will look at things. We want to focus on some of the high volume keywords, but they're usually the most competitive, and they're not always the best to convert when somebody lands on your site. So what we've noticed is that basically when you have a good blend of your keywords, like 2 to 3 word keywords, and in combination with long tail keywords generally speaking are the best to convert, because people who are that targeted in their search terms when they're looking on Google are more likely at a different part of the funnel, of the buying funnel, and are really a lot of times they're either wanting to learn more, but once they've learned past the learning phase of the funnel, they're at a point of like where they're ready to buy, basically. So if your site is coming up highly ranked for a long-term keyword, it might not be searched a lot, but those tend to convert better. So I'll give a great example. We work with a tree service company. We target various keywords. We actually work with a few tree service companies. Well, we target the normal keywords like tree service in the city they're in, or tree removal in the city you're in. Basically, the long-term keywords that we try to go for are land clearing in whatever city, lot clearing, and those are, while they're not super long tail, we also have storm cleanup, land clearing, like a long tail keyword like that really we've seen that search volume be much lower, but we've been able to track back that some of our tree service contractors have actually got the most paying jobs from those search terms. And so definitely you cannot ignore long tail keywords. And so just to kind of put this in perspective, I don't want to take too much more time, but website properly optimized for SEO, properly optimized for conversion, and working in tandem with making sure that everything from a technical standpoint, SEO wise, is done correctly on your site. H1 tags, H2 tags, all the tags, right, and all the meta descriptions, all of those things, all the technical fixes, speed, making sure that your speed is good on your site, making sure that you use good schema on your site, making sure you have enough content, enough imagery on your site compared to your competitors, making sure that you do a good competitive analysis to look to see where gaps are as far as what your site needs to do in order to really get on page one for certain keywords, and not just get on there, but be in the top 4 to 5, or top 3 to 4, I would say, in the organic. And so the goal when we look at something like this, I would say you want to strive for 10 to 15 keywords on page 1 of Google. Out of those 10, again, this is very generally speaking, but out of those 10 to 15 keywords, I would say you want to say 25% of those should be long tail, 25-30%, depending on your niche. So if you're doing 10 keywords, then look to have like about 2 to 3 long tail, and the rest being more of the short, high volume keywords, because that would be a decent blend. But this is the tip of the day in this 5-part strategy series. So I hope you this found value in this. Watch for, I'll be publishing the next 4 of them coming up. So definitely tune in, and take care, everyone. If you have any questions, feel free to let me know. I'll be happy to share any information that I have.